another episode of Teatalks. Today I have a very special guest and we're going to learn a lot. I have Mcsherry.
Hey, hiya.
So how are you doing today?
Doing well, yeah, I've just finished work. Been looking forward to seeing you, catching up with you. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. Lovely energy in the air.
What tea are you drinking?
So I'm drinking actually the turmeric and ginger tea, I think it was. I really like turmeric tea. It's great for your joints. Very anti-inflammatory. Helps with your brain.
And I have, this is like a blend. So it's got like chamomile leaves and a few different things in here. Can't remember the actual name, but yeah, it's a mix.
Yeah, it's a great mix. Chamomile again, shall we go? Chamomile, great for the mind, great for the brilliant digestive. Not a lot of people know that chamomile is a very good digestive herb as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's good to drink
Chamomile.
throughout the day?
Yeah, throughout the day. I mean, it's quite sedative, but I would recommend having it after meals, especially if you have digestive problems. So yeah, it's highly recommended. There you go. See, another tidbit from Monica. See, I told you I can't switch off.
If this is your first time being introduced to Monica, you are the co-founder of Health Matters, and it is an incredible shop. I'm there when I'm in London all the time, you know, little bits and bobs. And I wanted to ask you what actually started off your health journey.
So it was actually due to my brother, who I co-founded the shop with. So we actually were in catering before we went into the health food business, and he had a lot of issues or digestive problems, and because he was seeing lots of different GPs, they kept misdiagnosing him, so he decided to go and see a naturopath, and the naturopath helped him with his nutrition, helped him with supplementation, and it was just a game changer. So he decided he wanted to come out of catering and go into health food business. Had no clue about supplements in July 2000 when we opened the store. Wow. So it was a learning curve from day one. So it was all about Rob really, not me, my brother Rob.
So was it more you supporting him and then just kind of falling into it?
Well, when we first opened the store, I knew that I needed to educate myself because people were coming in asking us for supplements for certain health disorders. I thought, oh my God, I haven't got a clue. What am I doing here? So I started reading up. Then I decided to go to college from the September, got myself a foundation in health sciences, and then went off to uni to do my first degree in nutritional medicine. So I haven't stopped studying since September 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a journey, it really has. It's been fulfilling, frustrating, passionate, time consuming, but it's been really worth it, yeah.
Because the shop's really become like a staple on Lordship Lane.
Yeah, 22 years it's been.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's been incredible, and you know what, it is a great staple. It's a community shop. I mean, today we had the fair on Goose Green, and there was people outside chatting to each other, talking about the community and how great East Dulwich was. And we always put a bowl of water out for the dogs to have, especially in the warm weather, because you know they can get dehydrated. And I could hear them talk, and I thought, wow, what a buzz! This is brilliant. This is, you know, they're comfortable. They can stand outside the shop and you know can just chat and catch up. So I really love it.
Yeah, you've created something really beautiful. I love the shop as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean it was due to Rob. It was his idea, but you know, 22 years later, you know, touch wood, we're still here. We're still going. Yeah.
What would you say the importance of gut health is?
Oh my God, where do I start? We've got about 2 or 3 hours.
Let's go.
God, gut health is so important, especially for mental health. Obviously, there's been a lot of issues around mental health, especially over the last few years, COVID and everything else. But your gut and your brain are connected. We have something called the gut-brain connection, and anything that happens in your gut affects your brain. If you think about it, serotonin, your feel-good hormone, 70% of it is produced in the gut. So if you're not eating well or healthily, what's going on with your mental health? So the gut-brain connection is very important. I've been talking to a professor of gastroenterology up at King's College Hospital, who's also on Instagram, and he's all about the diet and the microbiome. So So your friendly bacteria and how important friendly bacteria is to your gut and obviously to your mental health. So it's very important. So what you put in your mouth literally affects everything you do on a daily basis. And I say this to customers, I say this to my own clients in clinic, and it's a game changer. I see customers coming in with anxiety, depression, stress. I give them a few tips on what to do and what to eat. They come in literally a couple of weeks later and say, Monica, oh my God, what the hell? Oh my God, I feel so much better. Simply because they changed their diet slightly. So it's so important. The gut is so important to the brain and to obviously everything else.
What are some of the signs of an imbalance in the gut?
Well, basically, if you look at the physical signs, the skin, always acne is a sign of poor gut health. The eyes, if you can't see the vitality in people's eyes, a sign of poor gut health. Looking at people's nails, poor health of the nails. The ridges in the nails basically would indicate iron deficiency. Iron deficiency can contribute to poor gut health. Mental health again. Respiratory health, anyone who's feeling quite breathless, palpitations, down to low iron. So there's lots of physical signs and symptoms that I can see when I'm talking to customers who come in on the shop floor. And I go through a range of questions, and if they're answering yes, I know that there are issues going on with their gut. Most definitely, yeah.
And what would you say is the first step to start getting that imbalance?
Basically, start on a good probiotic. So I'm a big fan of kefir. So kefir is a fermented drink. It's got billions of probiotics, especially acidophilus. It's one of the predominant strains of friendly bacteria that your gut needs. So I always say to people, if you're going to do one thing in your diet, start introducing kefir for breakfast. There you go, have some kefir. And you can get it in most supermarkets, health food stores as well. Nice bowl of kefir. I probably wouldn't recommend dairy. I probably would go down a coconut or almond route, because I wouldn't recommend dairy anyway. Get yourself a big bowl of coconut kefir. Add some flax seeds. Flax seed is an essential nutrient. It's full of essential fatty acids, lots of zinc, lots of iron. So put a couple of tablespoons of your flaxseed in your kefir, a few handful of berries. Give it a good stir and have that for your breakfast.
So it's a good way to have it.
It's a good way to start. Most definitely every day, because you've got to get that good bacteria into your gut. It's most important. Yeah. Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah, I mean, getting there.
Getting my tea.
Obviously, you mentioned a couple of the issues that you come across in the shop, but what are some of the most common things that you see people coming and asking for help with?
You know what? At the moment, it's all about long COVID. So we see a lot of customers coming in with long COVID. It's a strain.
What's that? Long COVID?
Long COVID is the symptoms of COVID. So COVID. So long COVID symptoms could go from loss of smell, loss of taste, poor mental health, cognitive health, loss of memory, breathlessness, limbs, so joint inflammation, joint ache. It ranges. There's a full range of symptoms. Long COVID is a thing. I mean, there's a big centre now that's just been set up to investigate long COVID and what triggers it. Obviously, we know COVID triggers it, but it's all about what's going on and why have you got these symptoms and how can we deal with these symptoms. So there's lots of different issues that we can help as far as long COVID is concerned. But this week, funny enough, we've had a spate of gastroenteritis. So gastric flu, so the stomach flu. So we've had lots of children with sickness and diarrhea. So this is it's a difficult one. There's no 2 or 3 issues. There's about 10 or 11 problems that I could name that people come in and ask us help for. So, but at the moment it's definitely long COVID, gastroenteritis. We've got a spate of chicken pox going around at the moment as well.
Gosh.
So that's always lovely.
So when someone comes in and they're having a lot of depression, they're having, whatever going on with their mental health, what do you recommend to them?
So the first thing is the kefir. That's the first thing as nutritional, that's what I recommend. Supplementary, there's a lot of supplements I would recommend. It's dependent whether they're on a medication. So for instance, if they're on antidepressants, there's a few supplements they can't take, like 5-HTP, St John's wort. Equally, there's a lot of supplements they can take.
St John's
No,
wort?
you can't have St John's wort because St John's wort is classed as an SSRI, it's serotonin reuptaker, and it does the same thing as most antidepressants that you get on prescription do. So,
wow, that's strong.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to take, so the one that I can name, antidepressant that's prescribed by your GP, citalopram, if you were to take that with St John's wort, the St John's wort can increase the effect of the citalopram, and if you're prescribed a specific dosage, 5 milligrams, the St John's wort can increase that the dosage. Ooh. So you've got to be very, very careful because they all work in the liver. So it's all about making sure that they're, the customer's not on medication. So my big go-to is saffron the spice. So saffron is this active ingredient that works basically as a serotonin reuptaker, as an SSRI, but it's great for depression and you can take it with medication. So that's one supplement I would recommend. Other supplements probably I would recommend would be Avena sativa, that works on the central nervous system. With Bethany, again, that works on the central nervous system. There's lots that I can recommend. We've got a whole shelf dedicated dedicated to mental health. So yeah, so many supplements. But it's all about the right nutrition as well. Yeah, lots of whole grain rice, quinoa, millet, lots of B vitamins, buckwheat. Buckwheat has a lot of high dose vitamin C and B, great for your adrenals. I could go on. Yeah. I will go on if you want me to go on. So quinoa's got a lot of B vitamins in there, small amount of proteins.
It has B vitamins?
Yeah,
does
all
it?
The B, yeah, all
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
See, I told you my degree comes in handy. So lots of B vitamins. Millet's great. A lot of magnesium in millet. A lot of B vitamins in millet. Buckwheat, great sources of B vitamins and vitamin C and magnesium. I normally recommend buckwheat for acne because it's got high levels of rutin in there, and rutin is traditionally recommended for acne. So rutin is bioflavonoid, and buckwheat's brilliant for acne. So there you go. Any issues with your skin, go and have some buckwheat.
I've literally never heard that.
Yeah. Unroasted though, not roasted. That's important. There you go. Another tip. Any more tips?
So obviously you was diagnosed with breast cancer
4 years ago, yeah.
4 years ago, and I watched your journey and it's really inspiring. Really grateful you're here.
Oh, I had the hospital treatment, but I supported it with
the natural,
right. Yeah.
So where did you start in that process and how did that kind of unfold?
So I found the lump in my right breast. It wasn't a lump, it felt like a little worm in my right nipple. So I went to the doctor who referred me to the hospital, and when they diagnosed that I had breast cancer, I was not surprised. I knew that was going on. The first thing I did was find a very good acupuncturist. That's the first thing I did. My family, especially my dad, he was worried. He thought that I would just basically go down the natural route on its own. And to tell you the truth, I could have done, but I didn't want to. I saw my cousin pass away in Italy in 2013 with breast cancer, and she tried to deal with it naturally. Unfortunately, she passed. So I had to deal with other people's feelings about how I was going to deal with it. So there was a lot going on. So I found the acupuncturist, started seeing her alongside chemo. So I had chemo for 6 months. Then I had a mastectomy, and then I had radiotherapy. I was diagnosed in May 2017 and got the all clear in January 2018. Yeah, and I have to say, it would be down to the acupuncture. She kept me sane. My mental health was affected, But my God, the acupuncture, she just looked after me, and I still see her 4 years later every Tuesday.
Oh.
Because she helps my immune system, you know, touch words. Breast cancer has not touched my life again. I've not had reoccurrence. I work in a very spiritual way to make sure that it doesn't affect me. But I'm currently working with a few people who do have cancer. So, you know, I think my journey was to come through the breast cancer journey, which gave me an understanding on how to sort of look after those that were going on that journey themselves. So, yeah, it was challenging. It was challenging, but I'm glad that I had the support around me, the right team around me.
When they do the acupuncture, is it in this area, or do they do it in other places too?
Other places. So they do the liver, which is on your toe, which is very painful. They do the legs as well. They do. I mean, she did treat this area. So the tumour was on this side. So she did treat this area, but she was very delicate, very tender. But she treated the whole body, and her understanding of breast cancer was phenomenal. And to this day, people will come into the shop having been diagnosed with breast cancer, and the first thing I'll say to them is, find yourself an acupuncturist, and I give them my acupuncturist phone number. And you know, she's great, love it.
For someone that doesn't know much about acupuncture, what is that?
So acupuncture is all about the meridian and energy and chi or ki, spelled QI. So some people, you know, pronounce it chi, some people call it ki. It's all about making sure that your ki is balanced and the yin yang is balanced as well. So when I first started having acupuncture, I actually started having acupuncture 10 years ago because I had adrenal fatigue. And I was very yang deficient, which would suggest my organs were very deficient of energy. So I had acupuncture 10 years ago. And then when I went back to have it again 4 years ago for the breast cancer, I was very yin deficient. So it's all about making sure that the meridians are balanced. I mean, I'm not an acupuncturist, but that is my understanding of it. If you want more information, just contact the local acupuncturist, because I'll be able to explain it. It's definitely what I would recommend if you're to start the journey of healing or recovering from cancer.
Any type.
Any type, be it breast, bowel, any type, it doesn't really matter.
Wow. See, even that, you would never, well, me, I have never kind of had to put the two together.
No, because I think it's because of the environment, because I work in the health food shop. I'm a therapist myself. I have, we have the clinic upstairs to the shop. So because we're exposed to all these different therapies and treatments, I think the moment I was diagnosed, I instinctively knew what I needed to do. So it was acupuncture. I also went to see a healer, and he was brilliant, and he helped me as well. So the acupuncture and the healer together collaborated and got me through. But I have to say, I'm just so glad that I got through it so quickly. Yeah. So I tell people about it, and they're like, 9 months? Really? Is that it? Are you sure you had cancer? I said, I took care of myself. But I wasn't, with all due respect to those who are on that journey and want to go down the natural route, that's where I'm at. I completely appreciate where you're coming from. But I knew instinctively that I needed to go down the hospital route, but complemented with the complementary therapies and supplements,
Why is thyroid health important to you?
So I was born with no thyroid, so I have congenital hypothyroidism. So it's a subject that I'm very passionate about. And unfortunately in the UK, I'm going to be very controversial, but in the UK the medicine still doesn't understand how the thyroid works or what to do. If you have a thyroid condition, especially hypothyroidism, so low thyroid function, they prescribe thyroxine, you have a blood test once a year, and they let you get on with it. And it's really frustrating because I know myself nutrition can really help. So it's a personal subject because of my own journey with with no thyroid gland. So, you know, we have a lot of customers come in the shop being misdiagnosed or diagnosed with poor thyroid function. I ask them to bring in their blood tests, and I can see by looking at them that they have poor thyroid function, and I help them nutritionally. And they do see a difference. And I've argued with many endocrinologists about the effect of nutrition and thyroid, just dismissing me. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. When I completed my PhD, I'll prove you all wrong. Yeah. I'll definitely prove you all wrong. But yeah, it's very important, because the thyroid gland is actually very important. It sort of governs most of the functions. You know, the thyroid is connected to your gut. It's connected to your heart. It's connected to your, you know, mental health. If your thyroid's not working properly, it does affect mental health. So, you know, it's a very important gland, and it was a gland that I was born without. You know, I have people saying to me, "My God, you're here, you're alive." People have their thyroids out, so yeah, you can function without one. I mean, sometimes I'll call it the thyroid day, where I'm not articulate enough, or I'm not getting my words out properly, and I think, oh, I'm having a thyroid day. But apart from that, you know, it's all good. It's fine. It's a very, as I said, it's close to my heart. But I'm happy that I've gotten to the point where I'm able to do the PhD on the nutritional management of thyroid disorders. And I also wrote this booklet. Woo! There you go. Available in all good health food stores, not Holland and Barrett. That's not a good health food store. But there you go. So if anyone watching from Holland and Barrett is watching me, I do apologise.
I'll show it to the camera. Look out for it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So all good independent health food stores. Brilliant.
Not Holland and Barrett.
Not Holland and Barrett. That's not a good independent. If I get sued, I don't care.
That is funny. Could you give me 3 books, well, the audience, 3 books that you could recommend for someone starting out in the health world?
So, be it for personal health issues, or if you're thinking about studying nutritional therapy, my 3 main go-to books. There's a really good generic book called Nutritional Healing, and it's basically authored by different practitioners, and it just basically walks you through all different disorders and different nutrition for these different disorders. And it was the very first book that I bought when I started doing my first degree. So Nutritional Healing, you can get it in all good bookstores or online. So
I'm going to put the links below.
Yeah, Nutritional Healing. The second one, it's quite academic, but it's called Nutritional Medicine, and I use that because I did a master's in nutritional therapy, and I use that through my course, and it's very it's quite deep, it's very involved, but it's for those who want to actually study nutritional therapy. So that's Nutritional Medicine. I'll give you the links after. I'll give you the info after. And the third one is there's this guy called Patrick Holford. So I'm not a big fan of his, but he wrote a really good book called Optimum Nutrition, and I've met him a couple of times. But it's just a discovery of nutrition and how helpful it can be. So, Optimum Nutrition Bible is another book that I used in my first degree. So, those are the 3 books. I mean, there's so many. If you've seen my library at home, and you've seen it, Shamina, I've got a lot of books.
Yeah?
Yeah, my husband's continuing saying, "Not more books, Monica." I was like, yeah, because I need them.
Yeah.
I need them. Yeah. They're important.
So I feed myself.
I've got to feed myself.
Yeah.
You know, people do come in and ask me all these questions. I need to have the answers for them. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So they're good books. And you can get them second hand as well, probably on Amazon Marketplace. But the Nutritional Medicine, I'll warn you, costs about £100. If you're studying, and if you're studying nutritional therapy, please go for a degree, not a diploma. Be mindful of that. Sorry, that's what I've put down.
Go on, what?
Because now the nutritional therapy industry is being regulated. So any kind of diploma courses in the UK are not recognised or accredited. So I get a lot of people coming and ask, "Where did you train?" University. Did a BSc, did an MSc. "Oh, I'm doing a diploma." no, stop that. Just go off. I know, I'm terrible, but I don't want to waste so much money. Yeah, I don't want to, there's some diploma courses out there that cost £12,000 and they're not accredited.
Yeah.
So just be mindful, if you want to go study nutritional therapy, go for a degree course. There you go. Hopefully that's inspired you.
Yeah, I hope someone needs to hear that.
Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. Just in general, just try and eat a healthy, balanced diet. You don't have to be twiggy. Look at me. I'm not skinny because I've got I've got a thyroid problem. But you can be fit and healthy. Have a good quality of life as long as you're eating the right foods. It's all about the quality of foods. Nutrition is important. If you look at the government ads now, if you look at obesity in children, now they're targeting obesity in children 20 years too late, as always. But it's all about making sure that you're eating the right foods, the right nutrition. So that's probably what I was, that's what I would add. People come in to work, they come and see me in clinic, and I see so many different food diaries, because I ask them to keep my food diaries, my clients, and if you see what they eat, it's just incredible how they've got through life. I just don't know. And when I tell them what I'm going to do with them, the horror on their face, I don't think I can do that. Well, you're coming to see me to help. So, you can eat good quality food, make sure you're eating at least 9 portions of vegetables and fruit a day, not 5 as recommended by Public Health England. So 9 portions of vegetables and fruit, more vegetables and fruit. Get all that into your system every day. You'll have a good gut and a good mind. Most definitely. That's what I'm recommending.
Get you through life.
Get you through life. A good gut will get you through anything. Get your bowels open twice a day and you can't go wrong.
There we go.
That's my tip of the day.
Because I don't think people realise that you're supposed to actually go after every meal. So if you're not moving daily, there's a problem there. So
I had a customer come in the other day and we were talking. I said, "Are you constipated?" She goes, "No." I said, "How often do you go?" "Once a week." "I'm sorry, you're constipated." But the doctor told me, right, okay, with all due respect, but the doctors have no clue about nutrition. I'm sorry, but once a week?
No.
I said, how are you? How are you feeling? Well, funny enough, I'm feeling quite sluggish and my mood is really low. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't pretend to be a know-it-all, Shamina, but when I do know that you need to go to the toilet every day to be able to function.
Certain things,
because it affects your skin. That's another thing that would affect your skin. It's, not going to the bathroom, opening your bowel, builds up toxicity and it affects everything. So if you're going to take one tip away from today, go to the toilet every day. So make sure you're eating enough fibre from your 9 portions of vegetables and fruits.
That should definitely get you going.
You definitely get you going. Most definitely, in more ways than one. See, look, I bought some fibre biscuits. Fibre, no sugar, just fibre. That'll get us going.
And they're sold at Health Matters.
Sold at Health Matters East Dulwich. Why did you become a vegan?
Why did I become a vegan? It's the same kind of thing with Rob, like things lead you to this point, and I was having a lot of health issues. I had a lot of really long periods at one point where I'd be bleeding for like 3 weeks and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was working a lot, but pulling away from that, it was still happening, and I was getting really moody and tired and snappy, and just I couldn't figure out what was happening. It was literally like I was just always in electric shock mode, just on edge. So I was like, okay, what is happening? What's happened? I wasn't like this at one point, and I started to pull things away slowly. People, maybe things I was watching, music, not overworking, not overstimulating myself. I still had this really deep fatigue, moodiness, like just not wanting to do much. And I was Matiga was doing like a life coaching course, and she said to me one day, "I'll just like listen in because we've got a really good guest speaker." So I was like, okay, and I listened, and it was Michael Eckwith, who is big on nutrition and just the whole spiritual journey and getting in tune with that side. So I was biting into a chicken burger and he was speaking about the emotions of animals, and I had never had anyone break it down to me in that way. And in that moment, it wasn't like animals, but it was more food, like that it must be my food. That's the only thing that I haven't changed yet. And I've just literally got that little bit out of my mouth and put it in the bin, and I couldn't from that day touch anything with animals in it, but based on the way he described it, but also in that intriguing state of like, it must be my food. Let's just go natural and see what that does to your body. And it took a while, because going into your like 20s and you've been eating a certain way, your body and your cells and everything have to kind of rejuvenate and even look to the light again to realise that there's another way. So it was a lot of purging, a lot of, trial and error. Oh, this thing hurts my stomach, or this is, even at one point I just wanted to go like raw, and my body wasn't ready for that. No. So you can't, transition so quickly. So it took a while. First I took away like chicken and meat, and then I didn't really eat meat a lot like that, but I just took things out slowly. I still liked the odd pizza, and it did make me feel sick, but it was something like, okay, you can have that now and again, because I don't want to just be like, that's it, you've never having anything. So I'll treat myself to a pizza now and again, and I cut everything else out, and then it got like easier for me, and I didn't have any withdrawal symptoms. And then over time, it's just naturally evolved into just nature, like natural stuff. I generally feel a lot happier. I feel like a kinder person. I feel more gentle with myself. I feel like I'm more in tune with my body. And it's not to knock anyone that eats meat or however you want to eat, everyone's in their own journey. But I feel I'm quite sensitive. So taking all of that stuff out was like I was really being unplugged from this cycle of like heaviness that I didn't know where it was coming from. And I just feel a lot, like I feel so grateful just being alive, like being here. And that's all I can say. It's changed my life.
And how about your hormones?
Everything feels like more balanced. I'm not the only way to describe that phase in my life was just, it wasn't me. And I didn't know what was going on. But I was working a lot at one point, and I used to consume a lot of sugar. So that's how I got my energy. Just, pick up a chocolate bar, and at the end of the day, when I look back at what I've eaten, it's like, how can you think that you're gonna, that's not energy. No. Like, what did you feed yourself? Just, I might as well pour the sugar in my mouth. Exactly. So when I started to look at it from that way, the spiritual essence, it like hooked me into something deeper, and I feel like I started to take things more seriously and appreciate when I felt good, because it was like, okay, having a body is a luxury. There's many people that don't have the opportunity to live out their lives based on health issues and stuff like that. And if you can fuel your body to go as long as you can, and then also educate other people along the way, identify things you've been through, that's exactly what you should do. So
we've known each other for a long time now, and I've seen you evolve, and you're so focused on your health, and the fact that you're following this healthy vegan diet, and I could see how well you look and how happy you are. And it's the fact that you've embraced it 100%. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud. No, it's great to see. We just have to try and get Linda and Louis to become vegans.
I know.
Can you see Louis?
No, he's not going to be vegan.
He's not going to be a vegan. No. Louis is my dad, by the way. Linda's her mum. But it's just
it's a journey. But it was just because I felt sad a lot, and just confused, and I couldn't pinpoint what that was. You know, like, oh, if you have a really hard job, and then it's like, oh, my boss is stressing me out, and you have something to pinpoint. I didn't have that, so I knew it could only be coming from what I'm doing to myself, because there was nothing. I pulled myself from everything else. It was like, what? What am I making? Yeah. So, yeah, I've definitely had moments where I'm like, oh, I want a little bit of sugar, or I want a little bit of this, and that just evolves over time. I think humans in general, where you are constantly trying to straighten out and, you know, cut bad habits and stuff. But yeah, I think generally I'm quite good with the food now, and I just, when I see anyone that's experiencing like stomach pains or cramps or depression or anything like that, I'm like, what are you eating? Not to push it on them, but have you thought about this? You know, you should come away from that. Stop eating Greggs for a bit. Or
I love that.
Well, try something new.
Yeah,
you know?
vegan sausage rolls. Have you tried them?
No, it's not. Not that.
No.
That's what I mean. Like real food.
Yeah, real food. Exactly, real food. But when Greggs brought out their vegan sausage rolls, I just laughed. I thought, oh my god, are you serious? They're all at it. Yeah. But no, I'm just so glad that you come through. I mean, the fact is, but everything that you spoke of is all about nutrition, the correct nutrition, and how important it is. And now you see all these celebrities endorsing it. So you see Davina McCall, for instance, and Joe Wicks. Okay, he's the nation's PE teacher, and I get it because he's a personal trainer. But you know, he's got celebrities all of a sudden they're experts because they have personal trainers and nutritional therapists behind them, which is all well and good. They're pushing a message out there. I mean, I hear a lot about Davina McCall and the menopause, for instance, and how she's brought subject of menopause forward, and it's no longer embarrassing to talk about menopause, and it shouldn't be embarrassing because it's just, again, it's the natural progression of our bodies, and us as women, what the next step is. So yeah, it's all about nutrition.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Wow. So what are some of your go-to snacks at the moment?
Those 5 biscuits. I'm a big fan of fruit, love veg. I mean, it's because I'm in the health food shop. I mean, it's funny enough, I bring a packed lunch to work, so I don't really have, I eat lots of healthy oily fish, love oily fish, so I'll bring that as a packed lunch to work. But snack-wise, the odd occasion I'll have a bag of cranberries, if I fancy cranberries. I need to fancy it, I need to be in the mood for it. So I don't really have any go-to snacks apart from the muesli cookies. Okay. That's about it. Or we do have sugar-free biscuits at work as well, occasionally. But no, normally I try not to have too much sugar, obviously, because it's not great, especially for thyroid health. Definitely not great. So I try to stick more to veg and fruit when I'm at home or at work. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't go to snacks. But at the moment, I do have a hankering for popcorn. The salty popcorn.
Alright.
Yeah, not sure. I do have particular funny cravings, Shamina. But yeah.
I was addicted to the Kind bars at one point. I've banned myself now. It was every day. I said, that's enough. Come on. The sugar.
I know. And all that kind of thing.
Stop.
That's the thing. If you look at labels, if you think, okay, this is low in carbs. Where is it low in carbs? It's like 12 grams of sugar per 30 grams of carb bar. So how on earth is that low? No, come on.
It's not at all, no.
So why is it called Kind? What's it kind to? Who's it kind to? Themselves?
I don't actually know the backstory. No. I'm sure they've got some sort of meaning.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've had one and then didn't like them. Just tried it and I just threw it away.
No, they're nice. They're banging. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't. That's it now.
No,
it was every day.
So what's your go-to now?
My go-to, there's this vegan brownie thing that I get from Sainsbury's. Oh, the light. Yeah, there's a vegan brownie I get from Sainsbury's, but it's a real treat because it's cheeky. Very cheeky.
You know, with all due respect, Shamina, you're busy. You're working, you're busy. So the odd small amount of sugar is okay. And the fact is that you're aware. that it is cheeky and it is a treat. Instead of, you know, there are people out there that think, oh, this is cheeky, I'm going to have a brownie 3 times a day or every single night before, you know, after supper as their pudding. That's no longer a treat.
Got to nip it in the bud.
Yeah, you've got to nip it in the bud. That's when problems start. Definitely, yeah. But yeah, there's lots of healthy go-to snacks. I mean, you know, for instance, seaweed snacks have become very popular. Right, lots of iodine for the thyroid, lots of zinc in there as well. Zinc's great for the mental health as well. So, yeah, so the seaweed snacks are one of the most popular snacks at work, I must say. Have you seen the little Itsy ones?
I haven't.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you thought them. No, yeah, they're very popular. So great.
Might have been my mum.
Actually, your mum might have bought them. Actually, yeah, I think but they're very popular as well. But lots of healthy go-to snacks to go to. Literally.
What are some of the top supplements you would recommend for humans in general, just to maintain your body?
So it just again goes back to what they're eating, their diet. So a lot of people, they eat on the run. So if they're working, they're going into work. I mean, a lot of people work from home now, but if you're going into work, they're eating the run, they're having their lunch at their desk. It's a really good multivitamin and mineral, just to supplement the diet. Because, you know, if you're eating on the run, you're not digesting properly, then you need something just to supplement your diet. So good multi with high dose B vitamins that help you digest your food. So definitely a multi. The second supplement I probably would recommend is a good probiotic. Good for any bacteria for your gut. So I know we were talking about kefir. So obviously you can get it as a probiotic supplement as well. So a really good probiotic, most definitely. And the third one probably would be a good high dose vitamin C. Simply because a lot of people are stressed now, and vitamin C is a great adaptogenic for the adrenal glands, so it regulates your cortisol. So good multi, probiotic, and vitamin C.
Nice.
And in the winter, add in a vitamin D as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Thank you. Because of the pandemic, we were doing all the deliveries after work because people weren't coming out. I remember. I think we got Linda and Louis to do some deliveries, remember? And so we decided to go on to deliver an Uber Eats. Do you know what? It's crazy. People are ordering and they order the most random of things. The most random. Like today we had an order of 4 cans of black-eyed beans. I thought, okay. And then, yesterday we had an order of just 2 bags of herbs.
Alright.
You know, okay, you can't come out, you're probably isolating, send it off, not a problem. But yeah, we do online as well as delivery.
That's cool. I'll link everything below in relation to you so they can get in touch.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
And yeah, on that note, thank you so much for coming on Teatalks.
Thank you for asking. I've enjoyed my turmeric tea and my fibre biscuit. I'll go home happy now. But no, thank you for inviting me, Sharina. It's been a blessing. It's been lovely sitting with you here, talking to you, because we never really see each other. So it's been a lovely catch up. Thank you.
On that note, shout out to everyone at home watching, and I hope that you have an incredible day or evening, whatever time zone you're in, and that you're smiling today. I hope that you got some really good information from this, and if you have any questions, don't be a stranger, you can reach out and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.